In the annals of American history, few places hold such legendary power as a small, crumbling mission in San Antonio de Besar, the Alamo. In the winter of 1836, fewer than 200 Texan defenders held that fort for 13 days against a Mexican army numbering in the thousands. Their commander, William B. Travis, sent out the final, defiant plea for aid, ending with the immortal words, "Victory or death." While Travis wrote to the world, the men inside wrote to their families. These were the last letters from a doomed fortress, messages from men who had chosen to make their final stand. This is one of those letters from a young volunteer from Tennessee named Ethan Hayes to his brother Samuel.
My dearest brother Samuel, if this letter reaches you, it will be by the grace of God and a brave courier. Our situation here is grim. The walls of this old mission tremble day and night from the thunder of General Santa Anna's cannons. The dust never settles. There is little food left, and even less shot. The enemy surrounds us, a sea of thousands against our small island of defiance. There will be no reinforcement. There will be no retreat. And yet, the spirit within these walls has not broken. It has become hard as stone. I must tell you of a thing I witnessed 2 days past. Colonel Travis, a man of fire and resolve, called all of us to the courtyard. The shelling had stopped for a moment, and the silence was heavy. He told us the truth of our position, that no help was coming. He spoke plainly, his voice clear and steady. He said that to surrender meant certain execution. To stay meant certain death in battle. He then drew a line in the dust with the tip of his sword. He said that every man who was prepared to stay and die with him for the cause of a free Texas should cross that line. For a long moment, Samuel, no one moved. We just looked at that line in the dirt. It was a grave marker, drawn before the grave was dug. Then, one by one, the men began to cross. Jim Bowie, too sick with fever to stand, asked to be carried over on his cot. Davy Crockett, the very man whose stories made us dream of Texas, he crossed with a quiet smile and gave Travis a nod. And I crossed too. I do not write this to sound like a hero. In that moment, I was more afraid than I have ever been. But to stand with such men, to be counted among them, is an honor that outweighs fear. I could not be the one to walk away. Do not think of this place as a tomb. Think of it as a seed. The blood we spill here will water the soil of a new republic. That is what we believe. That is why we stay. I often think of our hills back in Tennessee. I think of hunting with you, the smell of wood smoke, the crisp autumn air. That was a simple freedom. This is a greater one. The right for a man to choose his own destiny, to build a life on his own terms. That is the promise of Texas. And some things are worth dying for. Tell Mother that I love her dearly, and that I have never forgotten a single prayer she taught me. Tell her that I died among brave men, fighting for a cause I believed in. And to you, little brother, I leave my rifle and my hopes. Grow strong and tall. Be the man of the house. Take care of our mother, and do not mourn me with too much sadness. Instead, when you hear the story of this battle, be proud, for your brother was here. Your brother stood his ground. The final assault will come soon. We can feel it. The enemy is restless. We will not surrender. We will make them pay a dear price for these walls. Remember the Alamo. Let that be a cry for freedom on your lips. I must end this now. The men are singing a hymn. Their voices are low and steady. There is no fear left, only resolve. Goodbye, Samuel. Your brother, Ethan.
On the morning of the 6th of March, 1836, the final assault came. The defenders of the Alamo fought with a ferocity that stunned the Mexican army, but the outcome was inevitable. They were all killed. But the story did not end there. Ethan's letter and others like it survived. The sacrifice of the men at the Alamo inspired an army of volunteers to flock to the Texan cause. 6 weeks later, shouting, "Remember the Alamo," the Texan army won a decisive victory at the Battle of San Jacinto, securing their independence. Ethan Hayes was right. The Alamo was not a tomb, it was a seed. And from that seed, watered by the blood of heroes, a new republic was born.